Hello everyone. So let us discuss about an important topic of modern history, and that is equally important for all of you being aspirants of civil services. Clear? You must be knowing that the institution of civil services is a direct legacy of British rule over India when British East India Company was ruling. Clear? So coming to evolution of civil services in modern India. Institute Evolution of Civil Services in Modern India. Clear? Coming to this meta development, first of all, clear? The evolution of civil services in modern India can be traced back to the Governor General, the first Governor General. The first Governor General of Bengal was a person known as Warren Hastings. Clear? He was the first Governor General. Warren Hastings created a new unit of administration known as district. Clear? And at district, he appointed an important officer to look after law and order and to collect revenue. Clear? This officer was designated as district collector. Clear? So post of district collector was created by Warren Hastings. Clear? At the same time, Warren Hastings also established two judicial courts at district level known as Diwani Adalat and Faujdari Adalat. Clear? The one was civil court, another was criminal court. Clear? And Warren Hastings allowed district collector only to preside over these courts. Clear? When district collector presided over judicial courts as judge, clear, he was designated as district magistrate. Clear? So altogether, this officer came to be designated as district collector cum magistrate. Clear? So district collector cum magistrate, meaning thereby all powers of administration were given to a single officer by Warren Hastings. Clear? This system continued during his regime, but Warren Hastings was followed by another Governor General. This Governor General was Lord Cornwallis. Clear? In fact, Lord Cornwallis is regarded as the father of modern civil services in India. Clear? Lord Cornwallis was Governor General from 1785 to 1793. Lord Cornwallis came when he came to India, realized concentration of all powers in the hands of a single officer may not be efficient for administration. Clear? So he decided to go for separation of powers. Clear? In fact, concept of separation of powers was first given by a French philosopher Montesquieu by the end of 18th century during French Revolution. Inspired by Montesquieu, Lord Cornwallis gave his own formula to separate powers in India, which is known as Cornwallis Code of 1793. Clear? So he gave his own formula known as Cornwallis Code of 1793, and as per this code, clear, revenue administration and general administration was separated from judicial administration. Clear? District collector was relieved from all judicial responsibilities and he decided to appoint separate judicial officers. Clear? So district collector was not confined only for revenue administration and general administration, not for judicial administration. This was one and major reform done by Lord Cornwallis. Clear? Moreover, to expect honest services from civil servants, Lord Cornwallis increased the salaries of civil servants considerably. Clear? For example, district collector was paid rupees 1500 per month, which was a huge amount at the time. Clear? Moreover, district collector was also given 1% incentive incentive in total revenue collected from the district. Clear? And just because of this hike, clear, Indian civil servants became the highest paid officers all across the world. Clear? This was another reform of Cornwallis. Third reform of Lord Cornwallis was, clear, that Lord Cornwallis decided to appoint only British or Europeans into higher posts of administration, meaning thereby he decided to completely exclude Indians from positions of civil services. Claim, and just because of systematic exclusion of Indians, it resulted into a trend in India known as Europeanization of civil services. Claim. So three major changes were brought about by Cornwallis. First was Cornwallis Code, provided for separation of power. Second was considerable hike given to the civil services and the salaries. And third major thing was Europeanization of civil services, that's complete exclusion of Indians from higher grades of administration. In fact, Cornwallis gave a statement, overgeneralized statement, that every native of Hindustan is corrupt. Clear? So to avoid inclusion of Indians into civil services. Clear? On account of all these reforms, Cornwallis is regarded as father of modern civil services in India. Clear? After Lord Cornwallis, the next major reform in civil services was introduced by another Governor General, Lord Wellesley. Clear? He was Governor General from 1798 to 1805. Clear? And Lord Wellesley, when he came to India, he realized that civil servants in Bengal are not able to deliver services properly because they are not accustomed to local conditions in India. Clear? Because they were not trained under Indian conditions. Clear? To provide training to the new recruits to civil services, Lord Wellesley established a training institution in India. This was in form of the Fort William College at Calcutta in 1800. Clear? So he established the Fort William College at Calcutta in 1800. Clear? However, this step of Lord Wellesley was not approved by the stakeholders of this company in London, that is Court of Directors. Clear? And Court of Directors were appointing the sons and close relatives of civil servants in India. They never wanted them to go under training in Indian conditions. Therefore, after replacing the Fort William College, the Court of Directors in London, they established their own training institution for civil servants, that is known as Haileybury College in London in 1806. Clear? So another institution was established in London for the training of new recruits to civil services, known as the Haileybury College in 1806. That was under Lord Wellesley. Clear? This was another major reform. Clear? Next major reform in civil services was introduced by British parliamentarians in London. Clear? The British parliamentarians in London enacted an Act for India, which is known as the Charter Act of 1853. Clear? And under the provisions of the Charter Act of 1853, it was decided that from now onward, all members of Indian civil services shall be selected on the basis of competitive examination to be held in London. Clear? So scheme of competitive examination was introduced for the civil servants in India by British parliamentarians in 1853. Clear? Even though this provision was made, it was not that Indians could qualify Indian civil services. Clear? Because syllabus was based on university pattern of education in London. At the same time, the venue of this examination was kept in London. The age limit was just 23 years, and it was not practically possible for Indians to qualify this examination at this time. Clear? So when national movement started in India, demand was raised for Indianization of civil services in India, and it was finally Indianized with establishment of Central Public Service Commission in 1924, and examination began to be held both in India and London for Indian civil servants. Clear? So this was evolution of civil services in India. Clear? So Charter Act of 1853. That is why the first Indian to crack this examination was Satyendranath Tagore from Bengal in 1863, even though he resigned after some time. Clear? After this change, major demand for Indianization was raised by national leaders of India. Clear? And at the same time, after this, there was a commission formed by the British authority for Indian civil servants, and this commission was known as the Atchison Commission in 1886. Clear? Atchison Commission was formed in 1886 that divided all the civil services into imperial civil service, provincial civil service, and subordinate civil services in India. Clear? Imperial civil services to be appointed only by the British authority in London. For provincial services, examination could be held. Clear? And subordinate services, that is local services. Clear? Next major reform in civil services was done by the Lee Commission, which was constituted in 1923, 1924, and on the recommendations of Lee Commission only, the Central Public Service Commission was formed. And this Central Public Service Commission began to conduct regular examination for civil servants in India, which ultimately led to Indianization of civil services. Clear? And this concept continued even now, and therefore Indian civil services marked by merit-based clear services is the hallmark of Indian administration, which is a direct legacy of British rule over Indian administration. Clear? This is about evolution of civil services as an institution in modern India, which continues as a legacy till contemporary times. Thank you.